Hello and welcome, I am the Decisive Gamer and this is going to be a QPR squad builder. Now to start in goal is going to be the summer signing Julio Cesar. Now this guy was bought from Inter Milan and since last season his Fifa cards dropped from free overall and it suggested he had quite a poor season in Inter Milan last year and they did want to sell him. So I was a bit doubtful of how good he actually was, and how able he was in goal. And he has been very good for QPR this season. In the past few games, he's made some very good saves, and seems to be able to do some. He has got extremely good reflexes in real life, and he is also one of the best cheap keepers on Ultimate Team. There's, I don't actually think there's any with it that cost less than 2 or 3 grand are better than Cesar in the Premier League. As in Vorm, keeps like Vorm are crap. So Cesar is a very good goalkeeper in real life and on the game. Now the first centre back is going to be one of the most overpowered players in the Premier League, and he was possibly my favourite centre back of the last game, and it's going to be Stefan Ambier. Now he has become he moved last January, I think it was, and he has been a very good signing by QPR. He didn't cost much to buy, as Marseille were a bit short on money at the time, and he plays in the more central defensive midfielder role at the moment for QPR, and he's a very powerful and very strong player, and he has a lot of ability. On FIFA, he's got 76 pace and 79 defending, also with 78 heading, what makes him a very good defender. He's very good at the back and then also going forward for corners. To join him alongside at the back is recently departed Anton Ferdinand. Since Harry Redknapp took over at QPR, I don't think Anton Ferdinand's been one of his favoured centre backs. And ever since the incident with John Terry, I haven't particularly liked Anton Ferdinand because he didn't seem to care about playing football as much anymore. And I've never rated him as a defender. He's always like shadowed behind his brother Rio, who's a lot better. I don't like Rio Ferdinand, but he's a decent defender, while Anton Ferdinand just isn't very good at the back. Now at right back, if you were to make a QPR squad, you're stuck with this guy, and it's Jose Basingwa. Just like in real life, you're just stuck with him. He's crap on the game, he's crap in real life, and there's no getting away from him. He's got 80 pace and 73 defending, so he's not particularly very good. On that wise, because his tackling's not the greatest, and also he's got high attacking work rate. When he was at Chelsea, he did go forward a lot, but at QPR it's just been rubbish. And he's one of the players I'm not going to talk much about. At left back, there's going to be the former Arsenal player, Armand Traore. He hasn't had a good spell at QPR, to say the least. He hasn't done much to impress the manager, either Harry or whatever, Mark Hughes. But he is very good on FIFA. 85 pace, 66 defending. He'd be a lot better in a all silver side, but he should be very good in a mix of gold and silver players, as he is very pacey. I don't know who plays at left back in for QPR at the moment. Actually, it might be Traore, and he is a decent player actually in real life. If when he's at his best. At CDM is going to be one of the more expensive players of the team, and that's going to be Samba Diakite. I think it's, Samba Diakite. The player from Mali was bought after a few good performances at the African Cup of Nations last year, and I've got to say he was very good at the African Cup of Nations last year, but he hasn't done much at QPR. It was quite funny last season in his debut as he got sent off after only about 17 minutes. That was for 2 yellows. He was that keen to get involved in the game that he just lost his head and got sent off. He's very, very good on FIFA as well. He's got 78 pace, 79 dribbling, 74 defending, and he's very, very. He's another one of those strong players that is in the midfield, and he isn't cheap. He's not the most expensive, but he's not the cheapest. As you can see, the price in the top left has already gone up to 40,000, and that's without a few of the more. That's without a couple more expensive players being added. At right midfield is going to be one of the more expensive players, and it's going to be Sean Wright Phillips. Now, being the son of the famous Ian Wright, does put pressure on you as a footballer. But Sean Wright Phillips has had his good share of good clubs in the past. He's been at Chelsea, Man City, and now he's at QPR. And he hasn't done too much at QPR, but recently he's come back into the team and has been performing well. He's one of those really small players, so he's not particularly very strong, but he's very fast, what works for his advantage. That He's got 91 pace on FIFA, what's very, very useful. And he's a very, very expensive silver player, but also a very good silver player. He's by far the best silver right midfielder in the from England. Just ahead of Zaha, but apart from that, those two are just way ahead of the rest. At left midfield, he's going to be a cheaper player. What helps take the value of the squad down, and that's going to be Junior Hoilett. Now, this guy played his part in the whole Odemwingie saga because he was asked to go out on loan as part of the deal to bring Odemwingie into the club, and he didn't want to go to West Brom, and that meant Odemwingie was already at QPR, etc., etc. He's the same pace. He's practically Sean Wright Phillips on his card. He's just better at passing and better at heading. He's from Canada, so it's a bit of an obscure country, so you can't really make hybrids around him. And all he is one of those very sweaty players where all he is pace. He's a low-rated gold player, so he's very cheap, and that's what he adds to the team. And he's not particularly very good at crossing either. But he's the only left midfielder, I believe, from QPR. Now, that cam is going to be the start of the perfect three up front, and it's going to be Adel Taarabt. Now, this player, he is incredibly good in real life. He's so skillful. Now, just being able to perform one of the skill moves he can do I would just love to be able to do one, but he just does them so easily. He's good with both feet. He's got 5-star weak foot on FIFA. He hasn't got any outstanding stats on his card, but he's got 85 dribbling and his long shots and shot power are really good. Obviously, you can't see that because it's down to 76 shooting, but that's because his finishing, I think, is the one that lowers it. But he's an extremely good player in real life. QPR were good, got such a bargain on him when they originally bought him from Tottenham. And obviously, Harry Redknapp's teamed up with him again for the second time now, and this time he hasn't rejected him. And he's the key player in QPR, and he'll probably be the key player in if QPR survive. And I just love watching him play. Now at the strikers is going to be two players that pair together really, really well. They're from the same nation, and they're both from the same club. It's just a perfect link to overall. So we'll start with the cheaper one. That is the recently departed Djibril Cissé, who's gone on loan to a random Saudi club or Qatar team. And so QPR fans probably won't see him play again for QPR, but it's Djibril Cissé. Now, he did at QPR what he does at all clubs he's been at, and he makes an impact at the start. Fans really love him, and then he starts to not perform very well. He got a red card this season and hasn't found the back of the net too often. I think he's only got a couple of goals, and that's why he's gone out on loan. But last season he was very good for QPR and really helped with the survival. And obviously and famously had the green hair on FIFA last year. I'm not sure if he's got it this year. I think he still does. But he moved from Lazio, and he was quite a cheap signing, so he was probably worth what QPR paid for him. Now, to go alongside and finish the team is going to be his French compatriot. That is going to be like Remy. Now, I was doubtful when QPR bought like Remy because there's a reason that Marseille wanting to get rid of him, and that's because he hadn't been scoring regularly or playing very well for them. And all people know Remy for is his pace on FIFA and being one of the sweatiest players on the game. But in real life, he's not he wasn't chosen very often for Marseille this season, and that's why they got rid of him. But he was doing well last season and the season before, and that's how he got in the French national side for the Euros. I think he went to the Euros, but he's definitely had quite a few call ups to France. And he would have been at Tottenham 4 years ago, apart from he had a heart condition. What stopped him going to Tottenham, and he had to stay in France, and that's when he moved to Marseille. So, like Remy's going to finish the team off, and I have been the decisive gamer. Thank you for watching, and the next video is going to be Reading